Welcome, everyone, to episode, I want to say 113, so I'm going to say 113, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Episode 113 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Pentelarusco. I write stuff and podcasts too, and I'm a little late this week. It's been kind of crazy. I'll get to that in just a second, but first, let me talk about my guests. They are the amazing musical talents of Hazel Grey. It was really cool. I met them at Indigo Chapters, and we just chatted about sports, believe it or not, which, surprised me. But, I mean, hey, whatever. The cool thing about this podcast is, actually, I'm being a little facetious. We just talk about a little bit about sports, but we talk about, music, performing in front of small crowds versus big crowds. And we also talk a little bit about Vanessa Cardaway because she's awesome, and why wouldn't we? But I'll come in a minute. So what I've been doing last little bit is I've been working on finishing The Cloud Diver. One book's down, one's left to go, and which reminds me, I gotta get some stuff done to my cover guy because I'm gonna be meeting them this weekend. Oof, man, this time fly. But anyways, it's been a busy 2-3 weeks. I've just been doing nothing but working and writing, and an occasional day off here and there just to recharge the batteries. It's been good. I really have been enjoying some things. Might have lost friendship today. I'm not sure. This for a bit. I'm not sure. A friend of me came with a problem, and something inside just said, "Tell the truth." And I knew that they wouldn't take it very well, but I did, because sometimes a friend, you need to do that, even though they know they're not gonna like what you tell them. I don't know if I did a good enough job, but hopefully, it helped. But yeah, it's been my week. So I'm not going to dwell too much longer. Here is the one and only band, Hazel Grey. Looking for my archive episodes of Just Joshing? You can do so on my YouTube channel, Joshua Pentelarusco. JOSHUAPANTALLERESCO. There you will find past episodes with guests like Susie Vidori, Ron Bender, Ella Beaumont, Colette Turner, Chadwick Ginther, and more. Check out my YouTube channel right now.
And she was like,
I'm turning recorder on.
"Oh, okay, sure." And she was saying, "But it's not my thing." She's like, "But I want to be an actress. It's, visual art isn't my thing." And I said, "But it's all kind of wound up in the same vein. Artists of any stripe tell stories." So I went on to some contemporary cultural art that basically it's intended to make you think about the culture you're in. And I said, so I just pulled up a bunch of images, and some of them were cultural commentary. And I was like, okay, so I would cover up the title. I was like, what does that picture say? I was like, that's uncomfortable to look at. And I'm like, I know. What is it saying to you? What's the story of this picture? And so it was, I think that was the first time that she ever sort of realized that, or at least cracked the code that even in the different disciplines, art is still wound up together.
I actually see. I have my philosophy. Like when I started, I was like her. We all start that way. We just want to be into this, or we want to be into that. What tends to happen is you get into it and you realize that, I love comics. That's my hobby. I love comic books, but comic books aren't that different from a novel. They tell a story. It's how they tell stories different, but it tells a story. Yeah. And as you immerse yourself in different disciplines, you can take things from each of them and apply it to whatever you choose to do.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's kind of, but that doesn't hit you right away when you get started.
No,
she's started.
She's 13.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
right now she's got her world in front of her, and so, but it just showed me. I was like, oh, you're at home for another couple of years. Oh, honey.
Well, no. I'm just when she gets out there and really starts, that's when it's gonna hit her. That's when it's like, oh, because most artists don't realize what actually they're getting into when they start. And for good, I mean, it's a great ride. It's one of the best educations I've I've gotten bigger education doing writing than I've done anything else. I never expected I'd be doing this, a podcast, talking to so many different people. That was never a life goal, but here we are, right? I mean, but everybody has a different road and a different discipline. Like some people are very lucky, like Stephen King, bless him. I mean, he got in, got big. J.K. Rowling, same thing. She got in and got big. All right, but most of us have to just kind of scratch and claw our way to get to whatever our niche is. And that's not a terrible thing because I mean, you get what you get and you earn it, and it's amazing and it's incredible. But right, a lot of people don't see that road when they get started. They just see, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna act. I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna make $1 zillion. People are gonna like my talent. The other thing every artist has to be faced the challenge of is your work will get dismissed by a lot of people, and that's a very hard thing to deal with.
Oh, yeah. That's the death of the ego. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's partly just a value system. Like we don't. I mean, again, I'm not disrespecting any athlete because anyone that actually sees what an athlete has to do to compete has no choice but to respect that athlete. But the thing is, it's not that different than what we do. Really, it's just doing a discipline into something in a different way. It's a very physical, expressive way. But that's what's valued today, right? That's what's considered. I can exploit this, or I can do that, and I mean, so when you look at an athlete that's getting. Their big money contracts right now, but same thing with them too. Only a handful of them get that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, only a handful of them get that, and everybody else. That doesn't mean you can't make a living doing athletics. There's a lot
of people that do, but you just don't hear about them very often.
Yeah, they're not the big names.
They're the school coaches, and
they're school coaches. They're trainers. They're also. I mean, and there's also people that compete at different levels too. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? It's not just the stage that I mean, everybody wants to get to that stage. Yeah. I mean, you guys with the music. I mean, I'm sure you love to perform. I don't know if the Grammys are necessarily what you want to do, but
it would be awesome.
Yes.
But the road that we sort of came across the road that we would have to take to get there intentionally. We've thought about it for a couple of years. We're like, what do we need to do that? And then we discovered that where we ended up playing, just where it seemed the doors were a little bit open, or they were open wider, was a lot more community things. So it was in and among the people that we play with. So while it would be awesome, I would love to play for a massive, like a lot of people at once, just once at least. But we connect in a different way with a smaller
and there's nothing
venue.
Wrong, but there's
so there's something that, and not all people can do a small venue and still make it authentic. So.
And also the other thing too, some of these big musicians, they love that stuff. They really actually they're fans of that stuff because it's such a different atmosphere.
It is.
Oh yeah, because you're really right there.
Yeah.
As opposed to this cloud of people and the lights are in your eyes.
Had we really kind of thought about it back when we were getting started, we might have made some different decisions back then. But I don't know.
I always loved playing the coffee shops, the pubs, and just the little venues, because it had that intimacy that I enjoyed. We've played some big stages and stuff, but
a couple of them.
Not a lot, and they're fun, but it's a completely different experience.
Well, yeah, you don't get the same. You don't get quite the same personal interaction. It's there. I mean, you can interact with the crowd, and there is a rush. Like when you have that many people, like literally in the palm of your hand, that's a high. That's a huge high. Yeah. But at the same token, you don't know anybody. Like you don't get that opportunity to really go out there and say, hey, how you doing?
Well, there was a moment there that we got to play. Just as an example of sort of the stories that you would get that you wouldn't have if you played big stages all the time. When we played the Legion at around Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we
So Cochrane Legion,
I know.
living large, you know.
It was great. Anyway, so we
Yeah.
played the we did that, and there had been a song that we learned a few years prior, which was written by Wilf Carter, who actually at one point did live in Cochrane. Anyway, and it was called the Calgary Roundup, and it was about the Stampede. You know, so we learned that. There's some yodeling in it. And
Yeah.
stuff. It's outside of our normal Hazel Grey genre, but it's great.
Yeah, we
was
learned
great.
it. It was
We
the
learned
year
it.
of the centennial,
Yeah.
the Stampede. And
So we
it's
learned
a
this-
fitting song to learn to perform
Yeah.
around that summer. And
So we learned it on
good,
purpose.
yep.
Anyway, so we played this at the Legion, and it was great. There were people whirling around the dance floor having a great time, and one guy knew all the words.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
afterwards, he came up and he was so happy. He was like, "You were just singing about my dad."
Aw.
And so when Wilf Carter had written
Yeah.
this song, he was writing about real people that he knew that were involved in the Stampede, and that guy's son, you know, one of the characters in the song, Jim Ross, that was his son that was dancing
That's-
around on the dance floor while we played. And it was one of my favorite moments of being a musician. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was.
But
Yeah.
You
right
can't.
there.
You can't make
That's
that.
it.
No,
You can't buy that moment.
you can't buy it, and you can't make it up. It just
No,
it
it
just
was
happened.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just happened.
And it was golden. It was such a great experience. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
you
I
know,
want to
but,
shake your hand. You
but
know,
if
it's
we'd
gotta.
have played that on a giant stage, you know, had he been in the audience, that
Never would have known it.
Yeah, we would have never heard about it.
Yeah.
He would have told his friends or the people that he was standing with, but
Yeah.
we as the musicians would have never heard how much that meant to him.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Smaller crowds, you can kind of get an impact. I did my first live podcast about a month and a bit ago now, and actually almost 2 months ago at this point. And it was a great experience. I only had like 12 people in the crowd. That's okay. They were my audience, right?
That's
So,
right.
yeah, it's like they're mine. But it was during the night of the crazy cyclone style weather in
Yes.
Calgary. So I actually got 12 people to come out to do that, which
Wow,
is kind of
nice.
cool.
Right. Yeah. It's support,
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but I went up there. I had 3 guests. So I made a complete ass of myself in the best way possible, and but it's cool because that crowd is with you the whole time, and they want to be there, and they want to be, and that's great. And I'm going to definitely do more of that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. At some point, and who knows? Maybe I'll go. Hey guys, want to come up and go on a live podcast at some point?
Fun,
Yeah. Okay. But no, I mean, but there's something about like that small. Like I don't know if I'll ever get. I don't know if I ever want to be the guy that's ever at Jubilee Hall with the crowd of people I'll never actually meet outside that. It just feels like it's a bubble, and that's again. I'm sure the money will comfort me to some degree, but I mean it's right. But at the same token, it's just like I like the fact that I can still talk and interact with anybody, and I'm not sure. There's a line with fame. Like I think more than anything else, I think fame only really serves one purpose, and that's it's like to get a boatload of money. I mean a boatload, which again, no one's going to complain about having a boatload of money, but.
No, it would come in handy,
Yeah,
But
but
it comes at a cost.
yeah, it does. No, especially because then you can't be around like even your friends. Like even your friends. There's only so much like interaction to be able to get that way, and that's something I really think about. I like the idea that I can meet people like such as yourselves and we can just have a conversation about randomly stuff, and that's great, and no one's going to come bother us, no one's going to come ask for an autograph or anything like that. I like that I still have a sense of my own space and my own privacy, and that's the advantage of being a writer in the sense that you rarely, unless you're Stephen King, that's the downside of his life, right? It's seriously a serious problem he has, and it just he doesn't have that ability to go outside and do anything anymore.
Oh, what a
fun
world!
part too
Yeah.
is that we get to. The best part about being able to meet a lot of people too is that we can collect stories
Yeah.
as we go. So there's a lot of songs that that we've written over the years from the people that we've met and stuff that sort of work their way into that. And it's the gift of being able to meet a lot of people or to be able to take their stories and then make make something that's universally accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the stories that.
They wrote the one Prairie Girl,
Yeah.
just locally for a friend of ours who had known her for a number of years, and her grandma was just about to pass away. She's kind of on her deathbed, and so she calls me up and says, you know, my grandma's going to pass away soon, and we'd love to have a song written for her. You know, we've done it before for other events in people's lives. You know, could you write a song for her funeral? Which is
There's your commission
Yeah,
gig
like-
right there.
Wow.
Okay.
oh, maybe. Tell me about your grandma, you know? And so she just started talking. You know, a sweet lady, grew up out on the prairies of Saskatchewan. And, what was it, Unity, Saskatchewan? Yep. And then moved to Alberta and lived her final days there in Strathmore. And yeah, just great images and stuff about this lady. And so I was able, you know, and it sounded like she was a wonderful woman. Lived a great life, you know, a good family that she left, you know, and she was a part of raising and stuff. So it's like, okay, this can't be a sad song. So it's going to be a fun, happy song about your grandma. And so it was. And it's just really upbeat, happy song. And
But see that
That was the funeral song.
but honestly, that it should be. I mean, honestly, like, well, no, but I actually, like, don't get me wrong, like, that's a sad moment, but it doesn't change the fact that if the person made such a really good impact in your life,
Exactly. It's not always.
Celebrating a life is never a bad
So
thing.
it was pretty cool,
Exactly,
but the story, it was funny because we've played it since, and it's relatable to so many.
yeah, it's very universal, yeah.
It's,
Yo.
you know, and even the trick of writing, you know, I'm sure as a writer you find this where you can tell a story, but there's a way to tell stories so that the reader or the listener can insert themselves into it. So it makes it more.
There has to be like a. This took me a long time as a writer to figure out. Writing can't be like cerebral. It has to come from here, somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So you can have like and actually once you realize that, you can write about anything you want. Like that's the beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. So, like I said, the story I talked about with the unicorn stuff, I have a scene literally where the villain of the story is talking to his daughter, and it's just about what, and he's being like this sweet little, like he's being the sweetest dad possible. And there's this moment where you can have anything you want, and she just said, and then there's this moment where he just goes, "A pony? You want a pony?" And it's just like, and that's it. So that's how I introduced the villain. Like that's like so. I juxtaposed that with his actual job, right? I did that for a couple of reasons because I don't like, again, because nobody's completely bad, nobody's completely good. Everybody's a human being. Now we all end up in situations sometimes that make you question your life choices, right? And we've all been there again, but we've all been there too, right? That's the thing. Like everybody. Once you understand those things, you can do the most.
Actually,
Yeah, you can do the most absurd things you want to, or you can be happy, you can be sad, you can, but you gotta be in touch with yourself and who you are and what you connect to, because that's what other people will
Connect to.
Yeah.
I remember, overhearing someone say back in high school, someone said, you know, the things that are the most personal are often the most universal, and it was like that just kind of one of those things that sticks with you, and you're like, huh, and I found that as a songwriter, and I'm sure you as a writer, you know, it's like, those personal things are so relatable, even the things that you think that only you deal with or whatever, it's like, no, actually, you actually say it out loud.
Well,
and
even the
you get
things that we want to keep hidden, we're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, the things we think that are actually like for me, sometimes it's like really silly things, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, we all go through that. I'm like, wow, like, and it's like, and it's like, and then suddenly you don't feel so silly, or you don't feel like that. It's a normal, it's a normal struggle. We all. And then if you go deeper, if you realize as the story told, I just realized too, because I'm also the kind of guy that will rock out with anybody. Like I remember like cab ride I had not too long ago. The guy was just playing this Arabic music, and the next thing I'm just bobbing with it, him, right? And then we just started having a conversation about the universal things everybody has a conversation about, and then you just realize that nobody's really that different, and then that's once you hit that point,
you can reach anybody.
Well, and that's why I think art
Yeah.
is so important, because as artists we can see that, because we have to go there. It is our job to find the relatable points in humanity so that we can do our job. And I don't know, like especially with our world the way it is, the more, I mean, that understanding of we are all so connected and we are all so universally human, that knowledge needs to get out there.
Oh, no.
And just really go deep.
Well, we live in a world of fear and familiarity.
That's actually a good way to
that's
describe it.
because this is like, again, we talked this off about my issue with people over the last year is the whole concept of integrity. I had to really think about this because I'm still not fully, like, I'm gonna have to figure out my 100% way to make peace with it. But one of the things I realized, like for me personally, is why do people say that one thing and do another? And I had to think about that for a minute, and the conclusion I came down to is it's those two reasons: fear and familiarity. Fear because you might fail, you might succeed. Actually, some people fear success. Some people fear. Like there's a fear factor. Like, if you do this, this will happen. But it's familiar too, because and this actually applies to even self-destruction to some degree as well. You know what happens if you screw up. You don't go anywhere. Nothing really changes unless you are willing to learn from it.
Right.
But if you're just going to go through the same circular motion the whole time, then you're just going down the familiar map, right?
Which is sometimes feels a little bit safer sometimes than stepping outside. You're
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
I know this is a mess, but it's a mess I know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mess I'm familiar with.
There's safety in that.
No, absolutely. You know what to expect. Now, the moment you go, okay, you decide that you want to change. You want to actually, like, again, being nobler and greater is very difficult. That's actually the price of trying it. I'm not saying I'm noble. I'm not saying I'm great. I just want to make that come perfectly. Trying to be those things. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
We
right.
should all be doing that.
Ironically, I find the easiest way to do that is to try to do what you say you're going to do, and that because it's just a reverberating concept, right? If your word is good, then people can expect, like, this is what you're going to do, this is who you are, this is what, and if you follow, again, it's following through, and like I said, this year I've been around, and again, and this is me making some choices too. I don't want to be around that anymore. I'd rather be around people that are just going to follow through on what because that's just it's so nice.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are non-committal as well, so
but
they don't want to commit in the first place.
No,
I would rather that
than to commit and not show
up.
up.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would rather that. Because at least it's an honest stand, and I can and again, there's an integrity in openly admitting and doing you don't want to do anything.
Right,
there's an integrity that it's not. Yep. I don't want to be that small personally, but I can at the very least understand. Yeah, I can understand it. So, but like I said, but fear and familiarity is the challenge of the world, because if you are so. I live in Windsor and live in London, Ontario. So the difference between Windsor and London, Ontario, in Windsor, Ontario, I can talk to anybody. And that doesn't really matter who they are, what culture they come from, how rich they are, how poor, doesn't matter, right? What matters is I can have a conversation, I can shoot the breeze. I literally, when I got to Windsor last time, there's this biker guy, we were talking about him going to the casino. We were talking about, how's life, what's going on. He asked what I'm doing in town. I asked him what's going on with him. We just talked for about 10 minutes while we were waiting for our respective buses. And he was like, and then we walked to Troy. I wished him luck. He wished me luck. Again, no ill will. I go to London, Ontario. Everybody's in these little groups and cliques, and they like this is my exactly. Yeah. You can see it, and it's like. I actually think it's cute. It's actually that's the word. It's like it's so cute. But that's the difference, right? A lot of people. What happens is, especially I think as they get older and they're not, and because the older you get too, the less sure you are of things, and that's not a
No, that is a very real.
Yes.
It is true.
Yeah. I because you just see so much, and after a while, you're just like, I don't know up and down anymore.
Just kind of get some not self-doubt, but the admittance that there may be more perspective than I have.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I was, the comparison between my 20-year-old self, who had everything tidily tucked away in my boxes.
Had all the answers, yeah.
All of them. And then, we go, oh, well, that was wrong. Well, okay, or it wasn't always wrong, it was just incomplete.
Yeah.
And then, as so you get to a certain vantage point, and you're like, pretty much, probably everything I think I know is incomplete.
I wrote a poem in the last book of my series called The Glass Cage. It's one of the chapters in there, and my main character, and one of the characters in my main one, she's in a cell, and she's in a small place, and she hates the cell because she can see her freedom, but she can't. Like, it's annoying. It's not like one of those, right? It annoys her, but she looks at the people surrounding her and who they are and how they're watching her and are afraid of her. She realized once upon, like, this is her character arc development. When she started, she feared being small. So she was afraid of the world. And then she goes out into the world and she sees how big the world is. You actually come away, when you go out into the world, you realize how you actually are smaller than you realize. Exactly. But if you go out in the world long enough, you don't worry about that anymore. It's actually it's no longer a negative thing. It's
kind of, you grow into the place that you fit in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or there's that, but there's also, like, for me, it's like, wait, there's so much more I haven't seen done. That's awesome. And I will get smaller as I do more, and I actually think that is a really cool paradox in life, right?
That's true.
That's a cool paradox in life, because it's like, the more you see, the more you realize you don't know, and as long as you can keep that wonder in what you do, and that's truly, I think, the tricky part, because it's really easy to see much and get jaded with what you see.
Yeah.
But if you can overcome that, if you can keep that wonder inside you, wherever you go, whatever you do, and I think as artists, it's actually healthy that we have that sense of wonder, because if we lose it, right, I think our work suffers, and not just we suffer, but we suffer even more, but our work suffers even incredibly. And
and I think that's, when we've had, because part of the reason we've been struggling so much is because we've been traveling so much, which, but traveling and getting out there and seeing different things and meeting different people.
Yes, everyone has a story.
It does that for you. It just kind of gives you that, it keeps that smallness, but that wonder as well. And I think, there's a lot of songs that we have brewing at this point that have been sort of developing because of these journeys and people.
You're hearing people's stories, and you're finding the universality amongst people, but then it's just like seeing it's not all about you, and there's
absolutely
journeys going on, and it's just like
that's a really difficult thing as a megalomaniac writer to accept. It's just not about you. It's not about you, man.
Every artist has to hit that moment. You're like, what? Oh.
I hit that moment when I was actually very young, but it's like
it's like I go back through my awful 20-year-old poetry. I'm like, it's all about me and my feelings.
Yes.
Which was a good place to start.
Start something.
However, it's a whole thing of self-awareness that you're going through in that season. And,
However, as far as it's not all about me, and there are stories to be told that don't need to be based on my feelings.
That actually, you just gave me an idea. Actually, I'm terrible. So my second book of the series, it deals with the real world. So I'll just make this obnoxiously rich chick that just writes poetry. It's all about her feelings. And make her like 90.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's make her like 90. Like she's never left her house. So
and she's just Boy, you can write some awful poetry. That's all you circle around on.
No. That's the thing. It will be terribly bad on purpose, to the point that I want the reader to read that poetry and actually cringe.
Yes.
I can remember one particularly awful one that I titled
You're
"The Black
hell.
Rose." It was awful. I read it once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. You never know, but it's not seen the light of day.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's okay. We all had those.
Oh yeah.
No, but it was like the black rose. That was
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Why do you think you're so deep?
Oh, I know. I thought it was.
Well, Brianna, like right now, like she'll find both our daughter who's 13, and you know, she'll find these things on Instagram or whatever. Like, oh wow, that's so deep, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And as you down that shot of whiskey, yes, that's so deep. Oh,
I mean, but you know, it's the journey that you go because
That's-
for
oh
her,
absolutely.
that's the thing. Through her 13-year-old eyes, that is a little bit of depth that she hasn't seen,
Absolutely.
and then it goes. You know, so
Well,
it's like you have to.
You need that.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no, we all got to start some. We all got to start somewhere.
That was the thing, and so it's hard sometimes as a parent to like not to just back off and let the depth come as it does. You know, Rose.
Oh, I love seeing it.
I haven't been there yet. I'm sure I will get there at some point where I'll have like I'm knowing my luck will be this super athletic girl because I'm not an athlete and girl I wouldn't have any clue not to do with it, not to do with it. It's just, I won't have a clue. It's like
Yeah, we were afraid our kids were all going to be like sports. We're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
It's good. However,
but what again? I'm not like if I do have kids someday that's probably like that'd be the universe's
irony, yeah.
that would be the universe's revenge on me.
She
You
did
think
make-
you had all the answers? Deal with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
No clue.
She did make the basketball team, and we learned how to cheer, and we went and we were at every game. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
we
Awesome.
driving her all
do,
over
do,
Calgary.
do you know the rules of basketball?
I do.
Awesome.
do.
High five. Yeah.
I do. I mean, it was like at first, you know, we show up to the first game, and you're like, bravo,
You got the ball in the basket. Yes, I know that's good.
go team.
Oh, that sometimes they'd have a little break and she'd run over. Dad, you need to cheer more. I'm like, I'm trying.
Like,
I'm new with this. You gotta work with me here.
Yeah, this is the first time. I'm proud of you. I really am. I just don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly, yep.
by the end, we were doing the cheers. We were like, we were
But then there was the other dad that would show up with a drum and beat it. Bum, 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 bum,
Yeah,
bum,
you're
bum.
like-
Nope, not that guy. Sorry.
Well, that's okay because that's one step. I've been in sports crowds. I by and large hate them. Because I especially for kids, like little kids. Some of those parents I seriously want to punch them. I just
Actually, a lot of schools now, when the junior highs that we went into, they have posted rules for the parents.
Yeah.
They're like, this is and
Yeah,
they're like,
don't even.
bullying from parents will not be tolerated, and we expect you to encourage, not belittle your children.
Yeah, isn't it so sad that has to be posted?
But again, go to a hockey game. That was the thing that really blew me away. It was just like I still remember this. There's just my mom was saying this guy and take his son to a hockey game. Now thing is, I get if you want your kid to. I get the idea of wanting your kid to make it's a dream, I guess. But
Yeah.
if the kid doesn't really want to do that, but he's out there having fun, then
Yeah.
that
have fun.
You have a good time.
yeah. You don't need to push. It's just like you don't.
Yeah.
I never understood. Like, who cares? I mean, this isn't what he wants to do, and I can tell it's not. It's not a.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
The coach actually that she had, and it was interesting. He reminded me of he was the kind of coach that reminded me of a really good teacher that I had, a music teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because we had other conversations about how music done like a symphony has a lot of the same life lessons in it as team sports.
Yes.
So this particular coach, I never heard one word that wasn't encouraging come out of his. He would call
He was
out.
amazing.
He, whenever anybody did anything right, he would yell from the side like "good work" and call them by name and nice or whatever, and compliment the other team's kids. He was like, that was a really good. And
Yeah.
so he taught the kids on the team. He was like, this is a game and everybody's doing the rest, and all that stuff.
I mean,
I was so impressed. It was like if everybody, because what he taught them were lessons they can take through life.
Oh, yeah.
About, you're part of a whole. You are, and it was interesting because those
You
are the
won't
same
make every
things.
shot.
You won't make every shot. And pass to other people. And it was interesting because it was the same kinds of things that I try as a music teacher to teach the kids. It was like, you're part of a bigger whole. You know, pass the melody. You have a part to play it well.
Yeah.
Because it was really interesting. I took notes from him, just as I was like, I want to teach like you, coach. That sounds really good. That's amazing.
Well, I can only speak. It's not about you. It's about them. That's the best teacher I ever had. He was an English teacher. I remember it was 11th grade. He would actually edit my early writing. Poor bastard. Poor bastard.
I know. Cheers to like our early versions of
yes. But there's still one scene I still like from that point in time. He really liked it. He actually compensated in there. Very sinister. It was it's still one of the most.
Nice.
Well, villains are fun to write, right? So it's just you can let certain things out, and I did. I actually came made the villain really villainous in this one scene, and because it was just he really hated his brother, and there was a scene where he actually was debating about how to kill him. What was the most painful way? And he actually realized that is one of the sinister things I've read, but really good. And yeah. So he's actually the only teacher I haven't gone. See, this is just who I am. Nobody has to help me with anything. So I've made it a point when I've achieved something, I would go back to a lot of my older teachers, and I thank them. I would give them copies of my book, things of that nature, right?
That's
yeah.
cool.
That is good.
I still haven't found him because he's got such a common name. So looking him up in the phone book, it's like, so I'm gonna have to nut up one of these days. I'm just gonna go into every single phone, like M Sharp.
John Smith.
It's pretty much it's M Sharp. It's just like there's thousands of them. It's like I will find you eventually.
Yep.
But I got my grade 8 teacher. I got most of my high school. That's
cool.
That's really good.
Well,
Yeah.
I learned this a long time ago. No one has to help you. Like no one. And
That is true.
yeah, and so the people that do help you, they might again they for whatever reason see something in you. So you should thank them.
Yeah, the investment.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah. We haven't even talked about your music aid in this whole conversation. You notice that?
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
I talked a little bit.
Well, a little bit. No, it's just I feel I should mention it now before we wrap the interview up. But somehow. So.
Who are you guys? Just random people
Yeah,
that had
just-
coffee with? I don't know.
We were in Indigo.
We were in Indigo. We said hi. How are you doing? Had a coffee. Talked about random things. Yeah. But again, that's how my podcast. I don't know if you listen to my podcast at all, but if you have, it's how it goes. So.
I like that.
Yeah.
The one with Vanessa Grey.
Yes.
I like Vanessa.
She's
good.
fantastic.
You know, Vanessa's fantastic. I think underrated. Actually, a very underrated.
I would like to see her.
But she's got this, legit.
She's got a new album coming out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's right,
She
yeah.
has made me promise to go see her show. I will.
Good.
Nice.
No. She's really sweet. Actually, she's really sweet. She's really talented. This is how I met her. When Words Collide 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She runs the open mic. Right? So I go in there for the first time ever. I have to follow her.
Oh no.
I have poetry, and I have to follow her style.
Yeah.
But I got to know her a little bit. And no, she in terms of she has such incredible range with what she can do. She can be comedic. She can be funny, engaging, entertaining. She's really smart, witty. On the flip side, she's got a really deep side as well. She knows a lot. I prefer her first album. I do like her folk album. I personally can't wait for Patience myself because I actually write to her first album a lot. It's her, Diana Birch, and Lights is who I write to, generally speaking. So I don't know if you know who all three of them are.
Only not completely, just her.
Yeah, but her because she's got a really good range. I think I'm hoping that she does whatever was holding her back on this. I know some of what was holding back on the album, but I'm hoping she does more stuff more consistently because she's very untapped and you can actually see it.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, we actually met her playing here.
Yeah, we were actually. She was great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, we did this event together.
A gig at the same time when
Yeah, what
Stacey
was that
Connell.
thing that Stacey set it
They
up?
had an artist showcase. and Stacy Kondla. So it was artists and authors
Yeah, it was the year that
stuff.
when the Junos were back in
Oh,
Calgary.
it was the Junos.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
so,
what it was. So
so
she had
they had the
musicians.
brainchild of let's have performing here in.
No, actually,
It was pretty cool. So that's where we got to meet her, actually. is
Yeah.
we were sharing the
Shared
day
the
with her.
stage, yeah, and that was wonderful. Her and a number of other wonderful artists,
Yeah, I think we bought everybody's
singer-songwriters,
albums.
yeah. Exactly, yeah, didn't
All of them.
didn't
We
make
made
any money
nothing
off of it. Yeah,
because
we spent it all.
spent it all on everybody else's.
yeah, I know.
But that's what you want to do too. You want to.
Well, no, it's how you meet. It's also how you meet and interact with. Like, I'll be talking to Vanessa again at When Words Collide right before, so I'll release that another episode.
Yeah.
She actually the only thing I ever was mad at her. She's like, because she's generally with the writing community a lot.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm the token musician, and you're nobody's token. That was my answer to her. It's like, you're nobody's token.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's well, no. Look, I truly want everybody to succeed. I have chased my dream across 2 countries. I have been to the point where I've literally had to do some really tough things to survive, and I fear nothing. And the thing is, and I know I'm going to succeed because nobody's going to stop me. Short of God Himself going, nope, it's your time. That's it, right? And knowing that when that happened, that's when everyone discovered my work and how much of a genius I am. But that's just life and everything else, right?
That'll be awesome.
Ahead of
but
time.
We'll
yeah,
say we knew him when.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, I want you guys to succeed, whatever goals you have for yourselves.
you.
I want Vanessa Cardaway to succeed, whatever goals she has. I want Andres. I want everybody I have had the fortune of meeting. I wish you guys nothing but success, and I mean that because it's hard. I know how hard it is, and if anything, I don't see anybody as competition, to be perfectly honest with you. I really don't, because everybody's got their niche. Like everybody, like look, the one thing, like your music, like that, your albums or that's a product you're offering at the moment, but the true product you're actually putting out there is yourselves.
Yeah.
So true.
Right. And so, and the thing is, I can't be like you. And with all due respect, I like you guys, but I don't want to be like you either.
Yeah.
Right. I want to be me. I don't want to copy. I don't want to be a copy. I want to be a one-of-a-kind original, and that's. I think I have definitely succeeded on that front. But that's.
But if you help other people succeed and encourage that, then you're, the whole community's, really benefiting from it.
Yeah, it makes everything richer.
Well, like I said, that's my take. Some people, a lot of people may not share that take, but that's the truth. I mean, I would rather everybody succeed and everybody be doing their thing, and I'd rather everybody, right, than not. That's me. I look at it like this. My books are awesome. My ideas are fantastic, and I know it's going to get out there, and I know when it does, I'm going to be just fine. All right, and that might be a bit arrogant, but I really don't care. That's
Not
me.
a bad thing,
Yeah.
Confident.
It's
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah. But that's it. 'Cause I believe I'm that good. Now, I think a lot of other people are that good too, and I don't. But even so, you're going to go in your direction, I'm going to go in my direction, and we might intersect at times. Who knows? Maybe I'll come up with this crazy ass project. It's like, hey, let's all work together. Why not?
Yep.
Life is.
Exactly.
You might think I'm kidding. I'm probably not. I'm probably not. But that's how I see it. I don't look at people. It's like whatever. I'm not going to be author-wise. I'm not going to be Robert J. Sawyer. I don't want to be. I'm going to be Joshua Pentelarusco, and that's great. And if you compare, that would be flattering. But no, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm probably going to be closer along the lines of something like some mixture between Dr. Seuss and Christopher Moore or something like that. Right. That's where I'm going to end up, and I'm okay with that. That's it. But everybody's got their own thing, right?
Yeah. Reason for being.
Yeah. So. So let's encourage being for being. So I think we have an interview here. I don't know if it went where it went exactly, but we did. We had a good conversation about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for people that want to, so what's your current album, and how can people find you guys?
All right. Okay. So our most recent album is called Hazel Grey. It's under us, Rainy Day Parade. And it is on iTunes. It is on CD Baby, right? Is
Yeah,
that-
yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
iTunes, CD Baby,
I
yeah.
don't usually go on there. I always have copies at home. You can also
Yeah.
buy them from us if you get in touch with us through our website, which is hazelgraymusic.com.
Yep.
And we have some other. We're also on Twitter, and we're also on Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
As at
As Hazel Grey.
As I Hazel.
Yeah.
Hazel Grey, yeah. If you put Hazel Grey Music, that will separate us from the people that are actually named Hazel Grey,
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
who have the right to have their names. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But if you go to the website, it has the links to the
Yeah,
various
to all
other
of
social
those.
media.
Okay.
Facebook and
and
Twitter and
yeah,
whatnot.
and we just love to play for lots of people and lots of different kinds of events.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, from children's shows to seniors' homes to
Absolutely.
clubs. And we did
all the,
Highland Games in Canmore last year.
so
and
yeah,
so
all kinds
sorts.
of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give us a listen.
All right.
I had a lot of fun doing this conversation, and listening to it again kind of reminded me of that. So, in the midst of putting this podcast together, I accidentally started a pirate thread. So I jokingly said, should Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam be my writing name? And it turns out that people like pirates. A lot of pirates. So I am Dread Pirate, math symbol pi. Pirate, Dread Pirate Sam, PhD, maybe a secret identity I use somewhere in the vicinity. You can check out my Facebook if you want to read that post. I'm still not quite sure what happened there, but it was fun nonetheless. And Virginia Stark and Sarah Evans, thank you very much. That will do it for another episode of Just Joshing. You can do a couple things if you guys want to. If you want to add to the podcast, you can subscribe to the podcast first and foremost. You can do that at Podomatic here or at iTunes as well. Just subscribe, listen to it. Tell your friends about it. That'd be great. If you don't want to support me in other ways, you can also go with buy my books. Currently, my books are The Watcher and Storm Dancer. Soon, The Wandering God, courtesy of Mirror World Books, will join it. You can also check out my books on Amazon and other places where electronic books are sold. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Joshua Pentelleresco, or you can do my newsletter at tinyletter.com/jpentelleresco, JPANTALLERESEO. But whatever you do, stay inspired out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't get caught. Have an alibi. Or have an accomplice to take a blame. Whatever you subscribe to. It's all good to me. All right? All right.
Josh.